Hello YouTube. This video is dedicated to, and you'll see the person's name at the top of the screen. She asked me to do a request. She asked me for a request video, and this is her video. I'm showing you how to make the juice, the basil juice. This is the basil that I cut earlier. It's a little bit crunchy because basil does not last long at all. For some reason it just gets bruised and dry and goes black on you. But this is still usable, and I cut so much of it because it was starting to create a flower, and once it creates a flower it's bitter. And so I didn't want it to create a flower, so I cut off all the flowers. And I said what I'll do is I'll make the juice with about half of this and then dry out the other half. Now, because I'm using so much, I don't have to chop it up. If I was using a little bit, I would chop it up. But this is so much. Okay, what you're going to need is a mason jar, a lid, a wooden spoon, a strainer, and a bowl to catch the juice in, and of course a pan with a lid. Okay, I'm filming it freehand, so you know, well, not freehand, I got one free hand, and I'm holding the camera myself. So I'm gonna take the pot over to the basil. Okay, I'm hoping that I'm getting everything. I'm looking, but you know how it is. All right, you put a generous amount of basil into the pot. Okay, that's about half of what I had on the paper towel. As you can see, that's the other half. Okay, this is going to make some very strong juice. All right, and then what you do is you take, what you do is you take your mason jar and you fill it up with water. I'm using cold water. Okay, that's about right. And then I'm just going to pour the water on the basil. Okay, and then I'm taking it over to the stove, and I'll be putting it on medium-high heat. And once it comes to the boil, I'll push it down. I'm gonna push it down a little bit now too, but then I'll be able to put the lid on it and let it seep. I forget now what the word is, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. Alright, now all I have to do is wait till it boils, and I'm going to stop the video right now. Okay, what I'm going to do with the rest of this basil is I'm going to spread it out on a paper towel, and it's going to dry up for me, and then I'll be able to crunch it up and use it at a later date. This will be my dried basil. And I'm still waiting for that basil to boil. So let me come back over here, and I'm still waiting for it to boil, but yeah, and I'll come back when it's boiling. It's not at the boiling point yet, but as you can see how those leaves just wilt down. And if I wanted to make a sweeter smell, and although this smells so sweet right now, but if I wanted to add like some ginger to it, ginger's a nice a nice pairing with it. It would smell even better with ginger. And I just bought a lot of ginger too. I'm thinking about doing that. My husband came up behind me after I had sprayed my basil juice on my hair, and he said, your hair smells so good, which I totally loved. And I told him, I said, oh, that's basil juice. He said, you made that yourself? I said, yes. So yeah, it smells so good. So yeah, I'm hoping that y'all try it and tell me how y'all like it. You can see the smoke, but it's not boiling just yet. So while I have y'all here, I wanted to show y'all what I picked today. These are blackberries, and they're not ripe yet, and I didn't realize it was from my blackberry bush. I thought it was my raspberry bush, and so I picked them thinking it was raspberries, and these are not raspberries. These are blackberries that did not turn black yet. So when they don't turn black yet, you see, you know how blackberries look with the seeds on the outside, and all this would be black seeds. Well, this is it before it got ripe, and so now it tastes like a pomegranate. And I brought it in the house, I cleaned it off, and I said, this doesn't feel like a raspberry. And I took a bite out of it, and it tastes like a pomegranate now. So the only thing that's going to happen is probably going to be rotten, because it didn't get a chance to turn black. So it's probably just going to rot. So I thought I'd show y'all that. So if y'all growing blackberries, this is my first time growing them. I didn't realize this is the color they turn before they turn black. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be growing blackberries. Let them mature on the vine. As y'all can see, it's smoking good, and it's boiling. Now when it becomes like this, you want to get ready to lid it, because if you let it go too long, it will turn black, and then the smell will change. And this is the smell I like. I like it really sweet. And this is a really sweet smell right now. My kitchen is filled with the sweet smell of basil. But if you let it go if you let it go past to that rapid boiling state, the leaves will start turning black, and then it'll take on a totally different smell. But this is the smell that I want, and so I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to put the lid on. Oh, my camera's foggy now, and I'm going to let that sit and till it's nice and cool, and then I'll do the next process. Talk to y'all then. Okay, now I'm trying to do this without spilling. One hand. Okay, and I only had like maybe a quarter of a cup evaporation of water. That might be a half a cup of evaporation. It's still warm. It's not cooled off completely. And I got my lid. I put my lid on it. And then, oops, sorry about that, y'all. And then I just screw it on loosely, and by it still being warm, that's probably going to seal, and that's fine. I don't mind if it seals. Sealing is good because it just keeps it, fresher longer. So this is my finished product. This is my juice, and I'll be putting it in my spray bottle, but I already have some in my spray bottle. And this leftover basil, it goes into the trash. Okay, and then what I would do is put it in my spray bottle, which this just came out the refrigerator because I already had some in my spray bottle. But when it's all gone, I'll be putting this in. Yep, so that's it. I'll talk to y'all another time.